Alright, so today officially marks a week into this build. We are working on getting our walls painted today because yesterday we got them shaped and cut to fit the dimensions of, you know, our wheel wells and all those weird contours that you have to work around. We're gonna get going on this one today. Someone has been a bit of a negative Nelly these past few days. Huh? Is that right? So you're just gonna avoid me, huh? You're not gonna face the fact? Van builds aren't the most romantic things, if you haven't already guessed. But you still love me through it, right? Baby, right? You love me?
Yeah.
Alright, time to paint. We're painting it in here? Why?
Okay, so we're out here in this ghetto shed, which is basically a paint booth now. And we're using this indoor paint gun, actually same gun we used to paint the exterior of Lewis. And we're gonna go ahead and spray in the walls. Those are the tops, they're all upside down, and you can see we did the wheel wells and everything like that yesterday. So, good to go. Let's spray some paint. And they came out pretty decent. They're pretty smooth. They've got a few imperfections and everything, but we're gonna have to be patching some nails anyway. Alright, so I just wanted to check in real quick. Yesterday and today I felt kind of slowish progress-wise. We've gotten lots of stuff done, it's just been tedious. The walls are painted, and the reason we painted them so early was so that we wouldn't have to go around with a brush and mess up all our felt and stuff like that. So we will be repainting them after we mount them. And it's looking still a little bit rough, but here's where we're at. That's gonna be our switch panel. That's fresh water, gray water. Trim back the felt today, and there will actually be a cabinet on both sides that comes to about right here in the middle of this beam and down and across. I'm at a point where I'm really ready to make some big progress, but all this stuff is tedious and tricky, and this is the stuff we didn't spend a lot of time on our last van, and it really came back to bite us when we went to do all the cleanup. One of the things I think personally about the vans is that the less metal and like factory van type stuff, especially in a cargo van, that you can show, the better. You can see like this stuff, we'll build some kind of panel. Same thing up here. After all that stuff goes in, we're gonna start building the structure of everything.
Do you want to participate in the van build today?
What day is it, baby?
5,326.
It does feel like we're like 15 weeks in right now. There she is.
Van build essentials: box of oatmeal, raisins.
Come on down.
I just shoved the peanut butter in the chickpea.
Alright, we're here. It's day 8. I'm gonna kick it off today.
So we just stapled our reflectix using our staple gun. We have the same holes cut out that are cut out on our plywood walls that are about to go up right now, and we put our arrows on the floor just with a Sharpie so that we knew where our studs were, so when we were stapling we could just find the arrow and then go in right there where it would be secure. So that's what we're doing now, and now we're about to throw our plywood walls up.
So this is one of the wall panels that we actually pre-painted a little bit, and then yeah, so that's gonna go right up where that reflectix layer is right there.
Wall 1, wall 2, and wall 3. They're all up.
Not finalized yet, obviously. It's a little bit ugly, but yeah, it's coming together. Got everything kind of buttoned up. Looks good.
Seth says wishfully. But now, this needs to be covered. We need to button up this area, and also this area.
So we have this carpeted, but it obviously doesn't flow that well, just carpeted. So we're gonna kind of bring this ceiling around and curve it down, similar to what we did with ours with the shiplap. Ceilings are looking good. And yeah, Scarlett's out there working.
So right now we're kind of in the process of test fitting this piece of plywood up in this gap that we have here. We're thinking we're just gonna do a beam running straight. So it's gonna be a little boxier than we had initially imagined, but everything will be hidden underneath the cabinet. So I don't think it'll really mess with the design too much.
Right now we're creating templates for the pieces of wood we're gonna cut. The easiest thing to do is honestly use cardboard because it's a little bit pliable, and we have a lot of it from all the stuff we've ordered. And then just kind of draw your stuff out, cut it on the cardboard, and then you can go straight to the wood after you ensure that it fits up.
One of the most difficult parts about any van build is getting your wood to match the curvature of these vehicle bodies. And you only get so many chances to do it because you can only cut your wood so many times before your curvature won't match. What's your best advice for getting these curves?
Measure twice, cut once.
So I mean, that's pretty good right there. I'm not seeing too many gaps.
Perfect, it's beautiful. Make the cut.
Chickie check. Hi, chickies.
How's the top though? Can you hold it there?
Yeah.
Oh, the top sucks.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you before. This huge gap.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Back to the drawing board. He told me we're going on a field trip to Lewis because I don't understand what trim pieces he's talking about.
Trim.
Oh, yeah.
Trim.
Yeah, I remember now. Bye, Lewis.
So I'm going to show you how to test your appliances here. So we have the LED strips all wired together. They run across right there, whatever. This is a 14 volt V-mount battery, but what's cool about it is that it has a bunch of outputs. So 12 volt, 14, 9, 8.4, 7, etc. So we'll use the 12 volt port right here, and then you have a tester. I've seen people use drill batteries and stuff, which is fine for a lot of appliances, but drill batteries are actually typically like 14 volts. They will burn out some 12 volt appliances. So here we have it all kind of plugged up. It's just the 12 volt port running out into the wall where we have our wire tag that runs up into that conduit, and then we put both of our lights. We just wired them together. So if I'm correct, flip this switch. We got two LED strips right there. Now we can go ahead and label what that actually is, which is the upper LED switches. Similar process right here. We've got these plugged in, and these are the 4 ceiling lights right there. And once again, you just wire in the dimmer in between right here, and then this runs down. And this mess right here connects up to the fuse box. So next up, you've already seen some footage of this, but we're going to be mounting this up there now that we have the wiring situation buttoned up in the back a little bit better. Put one screw right here in the middle. These are really nice small screws. What I typically like to do is put a little block of wood down there, and this does a few things. One, there's no screws sticking out that will mess with all the wires we just ran back there. Two, you can also get a really tight seal, whereas on the metal, you screw it in, unscrew it a few times, and it'll kind of start to come out. So I'll typically either put a screw through the wood or try to glue it down behind the object, and that works really well. So you can see this is what we're working with as the final, which, you know, painted white and a little trim piece up around the top so you get that curvature exactly, is gonna be pretty darn sweet. Okay, when I say tedious, this is what I mean. Look at this. Look at the cuts right here. What we're gonna do is put this in right here, like so, and then we'll be able to cut two 45-degree angles and basically run a sheet of plywood from here to here and close that gap up. My advice in vans, because one of the things you can't do is level them, because the whole thing's not level anyway. If it looks straight, probably is. A bit of a job here.
This will fit up just like so. First one's up. It's looking good. I wanted to see the chicks.
Lula hates the chicks.
Does she really?
She's scared of me.
Aw, Lula, they're a lot smaller than you. Alright, so on a day's work, she was having some trouble starting up at the end of the day, but we realized it was just the battery because we had left the front lights on, so got a little bit of a heart attack there. We're all good, so that's positive. Now we're just taking her for a little drive, kind of just to charge the battery and also to do a little soundproofing test, so see how quiet she's riding. Very quiet ride in here so far, so that's exciting.
We got lots done.
We did get lots done.
I mean,
We got little things
small
done.
Stuff, yeah, but it's important.
They have to happen. No, wait, I wasn't. Wait, you're like hitting my hand too hard. Go home, Lila.
Oh, Lula.
What's tomorrow?
Oh, day 9. Here we are, day 9. So all this is good, and we got to do some wood filler and paint, obviously. But yeah, looking pretty sweet, pretty snazzy. Today, Scarlett, what are we doing today, Scarlett? Not just any cabinets, though. Not just any cabinets. No. Doing the upper cabinets. We're gonna try to at least. There's gonna be one that runs along this side completely, and that one's gonna be about 10 inches deep. And the other half is a little bit more, I think like 16. That's what the plan is for today. It's a lot more cardboard cutouts and everything to get all these lines perfect, and then Scarlett's breaking stuff again. Here we go. Okay, so I'm consulting the sketches. This has been really helpful. We measured everything out to scale, and we have a top-down view right here. Then we have a side view as well, with all the measurements accurate. Got these little cardboard cutouts made that fit in like that. So here is the cabinet face that I came up with here. It'll fit in like that right there. It'll also have this piece of wood, which is 8 feet long. And you can see I took this to the table saw and I ripped down this piece. And this will add a lot of structural integrity to it right here. So essentially, this thing now is going to come in like that.
Looking good, baby.
We need to cut the longer ones now. You can see here, maybe you can see, these are the short ones right here, and then they bump down, and there are longer ones right there. Just wasting away here, slicing through cardboard. Classic me. If you get the idea in the cardboard, you can make it a little bit cleaner for the actual thing itself. fine point type stuff. You trace your outline around, but it's really easy to come back with a straight edge and get all the lines exact for your cuts. A lot of jigsaw work.
Dang, okay.
That's a lot of space.
Yeah, that's a ton of space.
That concludes this week's episode of the Van Build series. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving us a like and subscribing to the channel because that really helps us out. If you want to see more about our lives and just day-to-day stuff, we're on Instagram at LewisTheVan. And as always, stay tuned for next Wednesday when we'll be doing some custom cabinetry in the 4th episode of the Van Build series.